time could not be better now for this. We are all allies for inclusion. We don't need to believe that if we give to one, we take away from the other. And I think that's what's exciting about this time, but particularly for around disability. There is an inequality crisis facing 1.3 billion people. And we forget that 80% of that is acquired between the ages of 18 and 64, that 80% of it is invisible, and actually every single one of us is going to experience disability at some point. But the inequality crisis means that 90% of our children who have disability don't get an education. You're 50% more likely to experience poverty, or 50% less likely to have a job. And I often quote this to say that we design more clothes for dogs than we do for people with disabilities, and that's a crisis. But there's nothing more potent when a societal crisis meets a business opportunity. We're not coming here with a problem, we're coming here with a mutually beneficial opportunity. Despite those numbers that we've spoken about, disability has remained historically on the sidelines of business. Now, we can't resolve this inequality crisis if business is not playing their role. And their role is to see this community as suppliers and customers and talent and valuable their families and their friends. And the only way that we can do that is that we need leaders. We act and behave in the shadow and light of leaders, we know that. Now, what could we do if we got 500 of the world's most influential leaders to use their power and influence, to integrate disability, to normalise it into business across their value chain? This is about employment and consumers and growth and innovation. This market is worth $8 trillion. So why hasn't it been taken up? Well, that's why the Valuable 500 exists, because we needed the 500 leaders. And in our audacity or in our ambition or our craziness, I sat here a year ago and I had no idea what we were going to do. We had six of our first, and I thought that was amazing. And then we moved on to the panel and we had Carolyn and Peter and Paul and we had Duncan and Julie Sweet, and I just thought, okay, well, this is amazing, and how can we amplify it? As of today, we have just gone live on our report on the Valuable 500 website. We have gone from 6 to 240 companies. Actually, it's 241. Lenovo just signed about 2 hours ago. I need to give you an example of the huge impact of this. This represents 3.6 trillion in revenue, just under 10 million in employees. It is 24 countries, 42 sectors. And so just so you're sure that this is not a tick box or a whitewashing or another thing. What we were asking our Valuable 500 leaders to do was for their CEO to give a commitment with their signature to elevate this conversation to board or executive leadership level and make a commitment to action.